But, given Dustin's influential connections, even the Grant family had to think twice before acting recklessly. After all, trying to get revenge on Dustin could have irreversible consequences for them. "Greetings, General Murray," George said respectfully. Despite his position as viceroy, he paid Christopher great respect. Christopher nodded at him, then turned his gaze to Tyler. "Boy, you mentioned that Lord Zenos can't handle you alone. What if I join the fray? You think you can handle that?" At these words, Tyler's expression grew even grimmer. Dealing with a viceroy was challenging enough, but the arrival of the Grand General was like rubbing salt in the wound. Two formidable figures, one with political influence and the other with martial prowess, posed an almost insurmountable challenge to anyone in the Dragonmarsh. "General Murray, our families never crossed paths before. Why did you have to come all the way here today to cause trouble?" Tyler frowned. With his current power, he couldn't directly confront these two powerful forces. But that didn't mean he had to give in. As one of the tremendous three, the Grant family had the influence and strength to match them. If they really fought, the result would be uncertain. "Why am I here?" Christopher chuckled. "If your family didn't cause trouble, why would I be here? Are you saying your family can do whatever you want, but we can't?" "Today is Dustin's birthday, and as his elder, I originally planned to attend the celebration at Zephyr Lodge. But as soon as I heard about the situation, I rushed here with my men. Tyler, if you don't want this to get out of hand, release the hostage immediately, or you will suffer the consequences," George threatened sternly. "Ty, maybe, we should think about it." Kate hesitated and said it softly. "It's our engagement day, and we don't want to mess things up. Let's release Natasha first to defuse the situation, and then we can talk about the treasure map. What do you think?" "Shut up," Tyler snapped, raising his hand, and slapped her hard. She staggered and nearly fell, her face red and swollen. "Ty!" She covered her cheek with her hands, unsure what she had said that triggered his anger. "You are useless. You embarrassed me in front of these people." Tyler glared at her. The Grant family had ruled Balerno for many years and had never surrendered to anyone. What would become of their reputation if they gave in after being threatened? As the top family for a century, they couldn't afford to become a laughingstock. "Boy, you've got 3 minutes to think about this. If you don't apologize, you can't blame me for what will happen." Christopher gave his final warning. "As the Grand General and Protector of the Kingdom, it is not right to bully my grandson." A deep, raspy voice filled the air, prompting everyone to look toward the inner courtyard. A white figure was seen gracefully descending from the sky. Just before it touched the ground, the figure extended its arm. It was like time slowed down as the figure landed as silent as a feather. The person's movement was fast and agile, displaying impressive martial skills. The white figure was revealed to be an elderly male with white hair in a robe. The man appeared fragile yet possessed sharp eyes that glittered with a hint of malice. This elderly man was none other than Arthur Grant, the backbone of the Grant family. "Grandfather?" Tyler's eyes lit up when he saw him, and his agitation dissipated. The presence of the Grant family protector reassured him that he had nothing to fear, even if George and Christopher joined forces. "Earl of Loyalty and Valar Arthur?" George blinked in surprise, and his expression hardened. The Grant family had been a powerful force for generations. Their strength came from their accumulated influence over the years. Arthur, the former family patriarch, was a brilliant strategist. In the past, during power struggles, he made wise decisions to form alliances. He rose in the political world, became a significant figure within the family, and earned the title of Earl of Loyalty and Valar. Arthur's authority and military capabilities were comparable to Christopher's and even exceeded him in certain aspects. The only difference was that Christopher achieved his position through battles, while Arthur excelled in politics. Regardless of their paths, they were both remarkable men. "Haha, this is great. Sir Arthur is here. With Sir Arthur here, no one will ever challenge our family again." The arrival of Arthur brought joy to the Grant family, filling them with a renewed sense of relief. They found their source of strength and put their worries to rest. "Kate, there is hope. We do have hope," cheered Trent, who was happy to see the turn in events. He had been worried about how things would turn out, but Arthur's presence gave him new hope. This is amazing. I knew I made the right decision. Kate rejoiced that she chose wisely, as Tyler had a promising future and a high-ranking grandfather. The Earl of Loyalty and Valour was an aristocratic honor that wasn't a title of nobility but carried great prestige and extensive connections. It even provided direct access to the royal family. Who would go against the Grant family when they had so much power at their command? Oh Dustin, what difference does it make to you even with Lord Zenos's and General Murray's support? You won't be able to save Natasha, and you can do nothing to improve it. You're doomed to be crushed by us forever, Kate snarled, laughing manically. She acknowledged Dustin's talents, but they would not be enough to save Natasha. Christopher, you are an honorable person, yet you are intimidating my grandson. Are you disrespecting our family? Arthur stood impassively with his hands clasped behind his back as he addressed them. Given that they had caused a disturbance, there was no need to be polite. Arthur, let me be clear about this. Your grandson is the one who caused the trouble. We're simply trying to get justice for that. Is there a problem with that? Christopher replied calmly. If you are looking for justice, speak to me directly. Bullying my grandson is not the right thing to do, Arthur asserted arrogantly. You've been in hiding, and God knows where. Christopher retorted. Now that I'm here, what do you want to tell me? Arthur maintained his unwavering stare. Your grandson kidnapped someone he shouldn't have. Release her, and we can all move on peacefully. Otherwise, he'll be in serious trouble. Christopher got straight to the point. Kidnap someone? Arthur turned to Tyler and asked, Did you? No, Tyler said, shaking his head. You heard it, right? Ty says no. You can go now, Arthur said, waving his hand dismissively as if shooing away a fly. You think you can just chase us away with one word? Do you think we're fools? Christopher's expression darkened. Then, what do you want? Arthur's eyes glint with hostility. You can either give us the person we're looking for, or we can look for her ourselves. The choice is yours, Christopher said bluntly. The person you're looking for isn't here, and you don't have permission to search my mansion. This isn't a place for you to wander around. Arthur replied sternly. Look, old fool. You're just being stubborn, aren't you? Christopher grew frustrated. You want to play games? All right, I'm tearing down this place today. You gonna tear down my place? Arthur taunted. Christopher, just because you have your men with you doesn't mean you get to mess around in my territory. Your Murray family may be strong, but they are no match for the Grant family. I won't hold back from taking action because I'm in charge here. You won't hold back, huh? Let's have a match and see who's tougher. Christopher rolled up his sleeves, getting ready for a fight. He figured a good fight would be more satisfactory than endless conversation. Christopher, itching for a brawl, aren't you? All right, I'll find someone you can fight. Arthur raised his voice and shouted, Zachary, it's your turn. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, there was an eruption of laughter from all sides. It was so loud that the crowd was forced to cover their ears. Out of nowhere, a crimson figure fell from the sky like a cannonball. The figure landed with a loud explosion that sent rocks flying and a cloud of dust billowing. A strong wind from the explosion ruffled the crowd's hair, causing their clothes to flutter. They squinted to see past the dust. As the wind subsided, a tall, middle-aged man in a fiery red robe and silver hair stood confidently. He had sharp eyes and emitted a heat that raised the surrounding temperature. It's Zachary Graves, one of the 5 ultimate grandmasters of Balerno. The entire scene erupted in astonishment when they saw his face. What? Zachary Graves? What's he doing here? Wow. I never expected to see a grandmaster martial artist here.